Hey everyone, and welcome to another video of Eat Well with Allergies. So today we're going to be making some crispy chocolate chip cookies. So if you like chocolate chip cookies and you like crispy cookies, this is the cookie for you. So the only difference between normal chocolate chip cookies and crispy chocolate chip cookies is basically the butter is melted, I think. So you're going to want to have 10 tablespoons of butter, which is, hold on, let me get my conversion thing off, which is about a little less than 2/3 cup. So you're going to want 10 tablespoons of butter, and you want to melt that, okay? So for the sugars, you're going to want half a cup of white sugar and a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. That's just the oven I preheated. For the wet ingredients, well, besides the butter, you're going to want to put together, what did I put in here? I put together 2 tablespoons of corn syrup, 1 egg yolk, or for my case, it's half a tablespoon of my egg replacer and a tablespoon of water so it's a little thicker. Usually I add 2 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of milk, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And you might notice that this is a lot more than 10 tablespoons of butter. I'm doubling the recipe because my family are cookie nuts. So for the dry ingredients, besides the sugar, you're going to want to combine 1 2/3 cup of flour, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, and that's basically it in there. And for the chocolate chips, you're going to want to combine, just get 1 cup and a quarter, 1/4 cup. So 1 cup plus a 1/4 cup of chocolate chips. And I actually just rounded up because I had about 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips left, and my siblings are chocolate nuts also. So let me get into my iPod and we'll get started. So you're going to want to combine the butter. So let me just put this down because this is melted butter. So just pour the butter in there. Get all of that in there that you can. And then you're going to pour the sugars in there. And you're going to whisk that up until it's like nice and fluffy. Or as fluffy as it can get. Okay, now I'm going to wipe down the sides and see if there are any lumps of sugar in there. Because brown sugar, you're not supposed to... Excuse me, I did cover my nose. You're not supposed to let brown sugar go into air, so it's supposed to be airtight. And I let it sit underneath sugar all night. So now you're going to put the other wet ingredients in, the vanilla, the eggs, the milk, the corn syrup. If it doesn't have corn syrup, I don't know how it's a chocolate chip cookie. You have to have corn syrup. Okay, so you're going to mix that together before we add the dry milk. Okay, and now we're going to start adding the dry ingredients. So I sifted this just because I want a smooth dough. You don't have to sift it. So I'm just going to go about 4 spoonfuls, which is about 1/4 cup. Or half a cup, actually. Actually, that's each spoonful is about a 1/4 cup. Okay, so right now it's a kind of a brownie fudge dough. but if you keep adding flour, you'll see that it changes. So another cup of flour, baking soda, and salt. And now we're on to cake batter. So to make it a cookie dough, you want to add the rest of that flour. Adding flour out of a bowl is very complicated because it never goes where you want it. Okay. Okay, and there we have cookie dough. So I'm gonna take this paddle off and wipe it down with my spatula. At least all that I can. It's coming off mostly on its own because it's so thin. And in this instance, you might want to get like a cookie scoop or a tablespoon. You can't roll this in your hands. Not at all. So, let me just get this off and move the camera somewhere. So, that's a good view. Hopefully I don't. So you're gonna wanna wipe down the sides of the bowl and mix that in a little more because you couldn't with the paddle. And then you're gonna hand mix the 1 cup and 1/4 cup of chocolate chips in there. Or in my instance, it's about 3 cups of chocolate chips. If chocolate chips would stop sticking to my bowl. I didn't even know that they could do that. Stop sticking! Hold on while I try to individually pull chocolate chips off the bottom of the bowl. This is harder than I thought. 1 chocolate chip won't do it. Okay, so hand mix those in. And yes, this is a lot of chocolate chips. And that is a chocolate person's heaven. Okay, so now we're gonna get a peek. First, I'm gonna put all these dishes in the sink. So hold on a second. And then we're gonna get to scooping. Now, I had no idea how I was gonna do this. So, my grandma actually gave me a cookie scoop. I've always wanted a cookie scoop because I've always had to use tablespoons and those aren't precisely measuring at all. So, I have this handy cookie scoop to use. So, I'm gonna get a pan, my flat pan with no borders, and I can put about 9 cookies on here. And the thing is that these spread. So you want to make sure that you don't put them too close together. So I'm going to put 9 cookies on here. Let's see if I can get a whole view here. Okay, I think that's close enough. So I'm going to move my bowl over here and wipe down my spatula. And then I'm going to get some cookie dough and put it on. And cookie scoops are a lot of handwork, so they, actually, I think I might actually want to do 6 cookies, so I don't want these to spread that much. So I'm gonna do about 6 cookies on here because I don't want these to spread into each other. Okay, so you're going to want to bake these for about 10 to 11 minutes at 375 degrees. So I preheated my oven to 375 degrees. Those are the cookies. And I'm going to put these in the oven for about 11 minutes. And hopefully they don't spread that much. In the meantime, I pre-cut some parchment papers and measured them to my board. And that means that I can, that I can get on with scooping. So, it depends on which board you have. It totally depends on what kind of pan you have. Last night I asked my siblings what size cookies they wanted, and they immediately said big. And I had no idea how I was going to do that because this cookie scoop is a certain size. So, let's see, I think I'll just do 5 cookies. And then that's 1 scoop. Then I'll get another piece of parchment over here. Just keep switching on and off. And the thing is that this has butter, so it won't stick. It automatically won't stick. So just keep scooping and plopping. So I'm going to stop right now and start cleaning up, because this will have, I have 15 cookies and then I have 6 in the oven. So let me stop that. So I stopped dealing out cookies. This makes a lot of cookie dough. Well, I doubled it, so automatically it makes a lot of cookie dough. But I have 7 minutes left, and I'm gonna go clean up a little bit and just get everything that I can done. And I'll see you in about 7.5 minutes. Okay, so we have about 30 seconds left on the timer, and I'll just see how those are doing. Oh man, those look good. So, let me just pull these up and I'll show you on this camera. Those are what they look like. So they do flat out, and you see that they spread, so you want to be careful how you do that. Because this one I added more, so I didn't actually add, like, I have 5 cookies plus 1. So on the other ones I just have 5 cookies, so hopefully they don't spread. So I'm going to slide this one out and let it cool with the cookies on it once I figure out how to get this up the ledge. So I'm going to get that, and then I'm going to slide another of these cookie things onto the pan and do the process over and over again until I have no cookies left. So, 11 minutes, that seems like a good time so far. And I'll just keep switching and kind of do a assembly one. And these, right now they're malleable, so I guess if you want to do something fancy, you could. But I just think that they're good by themselves. Well, at least in about 5 hours when I actually eat. So, I'll see you in about 11 minutes when I switch them. And I'll tell you how these turn out when they're less malleable and more, hopefully, crispy. So, I'll see you in about 11 minutes. Okay, so I don't want you to all see the whole process of me switching and all that kind of stuff. So this is the last batch of cookies. And my temperature is very, very hot. So I actually, 11 minutes was too much. So I'm actually doing about 10 minutes. Or actually about 9 minutes. So I'm pulling them out right now. And let me just turn this on so you can see them. And these are very malleable, so I won't show you what those look like, but I'll show you one of the ones that have cooled. So this is one of the cool ones, and there was a little snap when I broke into it. And let me just turn that off. And you can still hear them sizzling if you listen close enough. So I would recommend putting these on a cooling rack and not just straight on the plate, because the plate would stick to the plate. So I would put these on a cooling rack. So let me just get that there without my camera falling off. So I'm putting these on a cooling rack, and I doubled the recipe, so I've ended up with about 46 cookies. My family's gonna eat a lot of chocolate chip cookies. So that, let me just stop that. That is the video, and please like, subscribe, comment. If you do any of this, any of my recipes, take a picture and show how they turned out. Next week I will be doing sweet blueberry biscuits. Now for that recipe, you will need an oven-proof pan because you are gonna cook it in the pan. So just a heads up for that if you are watching the next video. So I'll see you next week for sweet blueberry biscuits. That's a mouthful. I'll see you next week.